Welcome back to the OnLife Podcast. Once a semester, we're going to be sharing student stories, just an opportunity for you as a listener to maybe get to know other online students. And this is also a great opportunity for you to share your story as well. So if you have a story that you'd like to share with us, obviously we can't feature all 130,000 of you on the podcast, but send us your story. So onlinestudentlife@liberty.edu is our email address, and we'd love to hear your story and try to figure out a way to get you on the podcast. Today we have a student who also works in student life.
Yeah.
So he's a coworker, a friend, and an online student. So Robin, who is this person that we have today?
I have the privilege. I get to introduce you all to Montez Johnson. Montez, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
He is the Associate Director of Resources for Commuter Life and also an online student. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So what is your program? Like, you're an online student. What are you studying?
So I'm in the EDD. I'm in educational leadership.
Okay.
Mine is general and broad, but my the whole thing is higher education. So my undergrad was elementary education, worked there for a little bit, and then realized that, hey, K through 12, you have to go to school. But what happens to the people who graduate? Where is their next stop? And just my own professional and personal journey is I'm a first generation college student, graduate, all of that. So I felt like I got in the ring with Mike Tyson. And since I'm here today, I kind of won. But not by a lot, but I won. I didn't get knocked out. So I transitioned from elementary education and then took it to higher education. So undergrad is my master's is higher education, and the doctorate is higher education, educational leadership.
Awesome.
So yeah, I enjoy it.
So how'd you end up at Liberty? Were you a student first and then an employee, or did you wait to get hired here before you started?
No, it was
classes?
it was a beautiful transition, and looking back, it's like a movie. I'm from the area, so after I graduated, I didn't know if college was for me. I was kind of fighting it. All my family's military, so I'm the first one in my family to go to college, but also go this far. So I was in a certain field, transitioned out of that field, but it was either education or law enforcement. At the time, it was maybe 2016, 2017, where I felt like the country was kind of like in an unrest, and I wanted to just help out. Went into law enforcement for a little bit, and then when it didn't work out, I just asked God, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? And he always told me education. I just didn't want to hear him or didn't want to listen to it. So what happened was I transitioned and used the money that I saved up from policing and used the money that I didn't need, just saving, because I'm like, I know I have to get myself through school. So then I transitioned to working at Liberty, took some time off and knocked out maybe 70, 80 credits in 6 months.
Wow.
College was my full-time job, my part-time job, my hobby. It was just trying to get it through, try to knock it out. And then I started working at Liberty and finishing elementary education and then working like a small part-time job. I realized, wow, there's a need for men and women in education, not just K through 12, but I didn't realize, with K through 12, you are a principal, assistant principal, teacher assistant. It's not that much leeway. But when you come into higher education, you could be a president, you could be a professor, you could be a director, an associate director, you could be a custodian. It's so broad. You can make $20,000, or you can make upwards of however many higher salaries you can make. So yeah, I started working at Liberty, and as I was helping other students dictate where they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it, I was able to see it myself. Wow, as I'm explaining to others, I'm actually learning as well. So my first job here was Liberty University Online, and I was there for about 2.5, almost 3 years, just speaking with students, listening to their story, praying with them, telling them what options we offered. So it was almost like, hey, this wasn't a sales position. It was really my life because I was behind it, and I was able to express that. And people probably didn't hear. They probably heard a sales pitch, but it was mainly just passion. So when they left, it was like, hey, do you get commission? I'm like, absolutely not. This is just my passion speaking and my enjoyment of where I was at in my walk with Liberty, but also just as a professional and as a young man learning, being able to share my experiences and expose people to what was good in my life at the time.
Yeah.
So have you always just been an online student? Were you ever residential or commuter?
No, I was residential maybe 19 to 20 when I went to the community college. That was the only experience I had in person, where it was like, hey, and even in the community college, it wasn't residential because they didn't have dorms there. So my whole career, college, credits, anything dealing with college, I was always a commuter. So it's kind of ironic that I'm on a commuter life team here at Liberty University. But I've always been a commuter, always had a backpack, always had to drive, always had to pack lunch, whatever, go to work, go home. Or whatever work was meant to me, I had to focus on it and do it. Whether I was alone, whether I had 2 people, whether 3 people, 5 people, it's always been like a constant, hey, this is the goal, work towards it. So yes, community college, they didn't have dorms, so I was a commuter then. And then I transferred over from community college over to Liberty.
Okay.
And once I transferred, I was working and school. And it was just beautiful because the biggest thing is I felt like I had flexibility. I couldn't imagine now going in person for 16 weeks in person. Just, that's a lot. You know, and for me, I always had to work. School was something that I wanted to do, so I felt like I had to fund it. And being first gen, people could fund it, but it was just really nobody there. So the Lord provided mentors, the Lord provided professionals, the Lord provided a lot that I needed when I needed it. And now I'm here. So I'm happy to finish things up. And I want to finish things up. Yeah. But I'm glad that, you know, I'll never not be ungrateful, but I'm always grateful for the opportunities that Liberty has presented. The flexibility, affordability, benefits.
Sure. So those are some of the benefits you found, like of just being, because you're online now, right?
Correct, yes.
So what are some challenges that you've had to deal with as an online student?
Challenges that I had to deal with as an online student. Access to in-the-moment knowledge or guidance.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times when you're dealing with professors, they work full-time too. They'll get back to you when they finish up their 9 to 5 or their 8 to 5. So delayed responses, and then I have to have my delayed response because I might be doing work and whatnot. So it might be like a misconnection. But one thing, you know, that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, you know, you see some of these students who are undergrad or just in a cohort that they have community. When you're online and if you're not in the area or just distant, who can you message? Who can you call? Who can you just lean over to and say, hey, you get this? Or, hey, can we stay after class online? It's an island. Yeah. And you're there. So that's been a challenge. But it's always something where you just recognize certain names. Hey, you took the last class with me.
Right.
Or, hey, that's pretty cool what you do. I read your actual introduction discussion post and I enjoyed it. Hey, let's connect. Like, so you create the connection, you create the community. But I would say number one would probably be community, the lack thereof. You know, you're not sleeping at the place that you're going to school at. You don't have common areas that you can just hang out at. Online is, hey, you have Wi-Fi, you have a space, that's it. Go do it.
Yep. So you had mentioned a little bit about how, like, you were an online student, but you're still, like, here on campus. Was that like an intentional decision? Did you say, like, I want to be connected to campus, either working there or otherwise? Or was that something that just sort of happened as you were pursuing your...
I'm more of a aim than shoot person. Initially, I wanted to go to other schools in Virginia, but it was just a scarcity mindset of I can't afford it, or how I'm going to get there, or what's going to happen. But honestly, I had 4 friends that moved across the street from me when I growing up, and they were the first real perspective and, I guess you could say, example of what Liberty offers. And they became my really good friends. And then just one thing after another, I started going on campus, just like a small, slow introduction. So when I did the application, they had a first responder discount, and I'm like, oh. Okay, did that. And it went from discount to, hey, this could be a benefit if you work full time. So everything just came in togetherness. But, you know, looking back, I'm grateful that it did because I know I couldn't do it on my own. To be able to work full time, to have benefits, to get schooling, schooling and education is so important. It can literally change your life, change your trajectory. So I would like to say that, yes, I had a whole plan. At some points, I had a whole plan, but I think the Lord really came in.
Yeah, that's part of his plan.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yes, overall, I've enjoyed it. I'm grateful, but community has grown. And I also feel like you have to give things a chance. If you give things a chance, 9 times out of 10 it'll happen, but you have to give yourself a chance. But you also have to stick with it. Online is different, but it's good if you need that flexibility, and specifically with Liberty, the affordability.
Yeah.
Right. So I know your situation is unique because you have worked here, but was there any activities, events, anything as an online student that just helped you feel a little more connected to the university?
Absolutely. The tailgates were so fun because I feel like so many people from different backgrounds, some people who were married, some people who had kids, some people who were new, some people who were non-traditional, like so many people from different walks of life came to those tailgates, and to be able to play games, to be able to talk, to be able to share what you're going through. You may not be the only one going through it. So those tailgates were really something eye-opening, but it just gave me something cool to do on a Saturday, watching football, talking to people, eating food. And it was like, wow, I have a place that's for me and a place that I can be, a place that I can exist. So the tailgates definitely was something that I use as community to unwind, but also just to lean in and learn more about other people.
Yeah.
How did your professors support you, like when you were an online student? Like, did you feel any support?
Yeah, absolutely. A good portion of my professors always wanted communication. They always wanted communication of what was going on, what could they expect, where I was at with things. And literally this semester, I had a professor who I've withdrew from earlier in the year, and I'll never forget her. I withdrew from her class in the spring, and I thought to myself, I said, wow, she was open to me to withdraw. She was like, hey, let's come up with a plan. Like, what can you do? And in my mind, I was like, I know I can't do anything. Well, fast forward to this semester, the Lord helped save me, but my car was totaled, and I told the professor, she said, well, look, I'm glad you're okay. Get things to me when you can. That took the pressure off of everything, because in my mind, I'm like, how do I withdraw from the same class twice in 1 year? I'm like, I got it. This can't
the same professor as well?
Same professor.
So she's like, Montez, what are you doing?
Yeah. But when she said, hey, get things to me, and I've communicated, and I feel like I'm just back normal, because like something can happen in the semester and it can just throw your whole rhythm off. And with her, she has been helpful. She has, talked me through things, explained things. So in a way, it doesn't feel like the way that she has showed up, it doesn't feel like it's online. It feels very personable. It feels very there, present. So yeah, I've had rough patches, but with this professor, she has been there, and it's felt, it's noticed, and I enjoy that. So I'm definitely going to do her review very well. Very nice.
Yeah. So I want to make sure I have the timeline right. You started as a student here, and then you started working. Is that?
Yes, okay. I started as a student, worked in the field of education for a little bit, and then went to work here at Liberty University while being a student, and then as a student, I changed my degree to say, hey, I think I like higher education more than elementary education. Okay. And then I've been in higher education ever since. And it's been joyful. It's been rewarding. It's been fruitful. It's been everything. And to think that, where I started at and then where I'm at are two different places. So that's the growth that, the Lord instilled, but also the growth and the excitement that Liberty has offered.
So how was your transition from like a student to then being a student and an employee?
It was unique. I'll tell you this. The coffee shops that I went to, everybody knew my order and my name, first name basis. I lived in coffee shops because I knew I couldn't focus at home. At work, I really couldn't focus at work because so many people would be excited to see me and just want to talk. And I'm like, where can I go? But I always felt like I had a plan. Even though my elementary education was the undergrad, I still felt like I was a teacher because I was looking at my grades. I was looking at game plans. I was looking at seating plans. I was looking at so many things, just juggling. But it really didn't. I didn't feel. I wouldn't say I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I was structured to where, even with my community college, I always had to. I felt like work was first, school was second. Because if I don't work, I don't eat. But if I want to go to college, I have to fund it. So that's how I funded it. I would use college as like a part-time job. And then so the coffee shops locally or anywhere I had to go, my computer was with me. So it was a transition, but it was a good transition. Challenging, but the learning curve adjusted. Time management adjusted. Friends, family adjusted. So it was a learning curve at first, but it smoothed out on its own.
Yeah. Have you been able to use any of your things you've learned in your higher education program in your work in higher education? Like, I feel like there's probably some great things that you can apply immediately in your day-to-day job, right?
Yeah, a lot of it. I do a lot of it. I think mentorship. It has taught me a lot of mentorship. It has taught me a lot of being, servitude. It has taught me a lot of grace and patience. With my degree specifically I'm in a course called policy analysis. And that right there, I'll be the first to say it. It puts you in a space where you have nothing to do but learn. Because if you haven't seen it before, you could apply it. But I see some people who don't work in the field who is trying to get a degree in the field. But in my mind, I feel like I'm at a huge advantage because I can see what I'm learning about and vice versa. Or if I haven't learned about it, I could apply it in a way where I'm like, okay, I'm learning about it. But overall, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I've been here for 2019, so maybe that's going on 7 years.
Wow.
I've been with this university through COVID. I've been with this university through different phases and assets, and I've learned through almost each and every one. So it's beautiful. I think some people might have education but no experience. Some people might not have experience but they have education. Liberty has provided me a chance to have both. So it's been good to be able to look at budgets. It's been good to be able to look at enrollment trends. It's been good to be able to look at maybe financial aid as a whole, Title IX, marketing, recruiting, and even like online life. So all of it has been inclusive, but it's all been a learning curve, but also a learning journey.
Yeah. So you had mentioned you started down one degree path and career path, and then you shifted. Was there a class? Was there a life event? Something that kind of helped to clarify for you that maybe this is the direction that I need to be going?
Yeah. I think with everything included, I feel like the Lord will show you where you need to be. You have to listen. But if you don't listen, he will do. With law enforcement, I knew from the first day I hit the streets, it wasn't for me. It was just so many things and so many people. So many people were so shocked that I did it, but I wanted to do something. But I learned so much through it all to where it's like, wow, I'm grateful for that tool to be in my toolbox. So it wasn't one specific thing. I felt like it was all things. So many people assume that I'm a professor already. So many people assume that I was a teacher already. So many people assume that I'm a pastor, but I'm not any of those. I work in higher ed. I feel like I'm a student affairs professional, but I think that just speaks to, what the Lord places on you. People might assume it. It just might be a strength that you have. So it wasn't anything specifically, but I've always was the type to always value education, always asking more questions. I feel like my mind could be like a computer at times to where it's like, why? Some people don't like the why question. I like the why question, not to make people defensive, but I just genuinely want to know why, how, who, when, where. So the Lord placed me in education where I can get all those questions answered.
Nice.
That's great. I know, personally, I've really seen a lot of those qualities in you, just as we've worked together. The ones that you've mentioned, a lot of what you do focuses around like helping commuter students who maybe are having like food insecurity or even trying to find a place to live.
Right.
how has that kind of impacted your work? Because like it sounds like you're doing a lot of things that are like almost like a ministry in a way, like you're helping people every day.
Absolutely.
How does that kind of maybe even connect to your law enforcement background as far as this like service mindset?
I would say it would be my upbringing. My grandmother was a missionary. She went to pray for people. She would visit the nursing homes. I come from a family where community is everything. It's some people that I found out as I got older wasn't related to me, but they were treated like cousins, like uncles, like aunts. And I'm like, oh, wow. But that's the community base of it. I grew up going to food pantries. I grew up going to things that were offered for the community. But it also feels like it's like giving back. Giving back to what has helped shape me. And I haven't forgot because I felt like, with commuter students, they're always fighting. Fighting for hours at work, maybe. Fighting to gain credits here, gain credits there. Overall, I feel like the ministry is of people. And I think we should welcome people, regardless of where they're at, meeting them where they're at, and not offering judgment. So when I try to meet people, I try to ask them, hey, where are you from? Because they might be here momentarily, but that's not where they're from. I want to get to know who they are, what they enjoy, so that maybe how I meet them, it may be uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. How I meet them and then how they exit, I guess you could say, or graduate or transition or transfer. I always want to be a voice of comfort. I always want to use my hands, my heart, and my head to where it's being productive, but also representing the love of Christ. So it doesn't feel like work to me. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people that I meet. But I also enjoy pouring into others. When they meet me, they might be sad. They might be uncomfortable. They might have some insecurity. But when I meet them, I want to give them that encouragement. I want to give them that confidence because somebody gave that to me. And I see what pouring into a young person can do. Because as I look at myself today, it's like, hey, I'm the embodiment of what mentoring and leadership looks like when somebody takes the time. So, yeah, I think it's all there. We all have a story like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just mentioned mentor. Who would like what has a mentor meant in your life, and how has it impacted you, maybe professionally, personally?
Mentorship for me looks like me asking questions that I haven't been through before, but I can expect to go through. Somebody that's there in life or has dealt with that in life, or even one person said this to me. It was an older gentleman, and he was trying to become my friend, and I was like, okay. But one thing he said that stuck out to me, it was like, hey, mentorship just isn't somebody with wisdom. It could be somebody with knowledge. And I was like, okay, what's the catch? What's the golden nugget in that? He said, Montez, you might think you need me, but in reality, I need you. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, do you know what ChatGPT is? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I don't. He's like, do you know what artificial intelligence, where it came from, where it's going? And I'm like, he doesn't. And I'm like, well, I've heard of it. I do. So I feel like mentorship to me is letting go of your ego and your pride and offering the best that you can offer. But also being transparent. If you can tell me where you messed up at, then I can know. I would do that for any one of my students that is going through something, that if I see a roadblock down the way, or if I see anything, I want to let them know because I owe that to them, But your question was, what does that look like? I think a mentor to me looks like somebody who's honest, who is not only telling me things, but are showing me things. Somebody who is patient, somebody who's willing to teach, but also somebody who's willing to learn themselves, because not everybody's the same. Not everybody acts the same, thinks the same, or even handle their own emotions the same. So I think for all young people, you just can't have one mentor. You have to have multiple, different ones from different backgrounds. So that's what that looks like to me.
Yeah. Is there any aspect of your story or like your time going through these classes that we maybe haven't touched on that you would want to make sure we talk about? I don't want to skip past anything.
I would say, yeah, the moments, like, I think we all get so caught up in the moment to where the small things don't matter to us, but they should matter, and they do matter. I think with some of us who work in higher ed, we look at the fall and the spring as like, hey, this big wave is coming. And it feels that way, but we should not forget about the small wins that we get day to day. The student who passed the class, or the student who's getting better sleep because somebody told them time management. So it's so rewarding to me to be able to pour into this next generation. So many people talk about different generations and this, that, the third, but we're all just doing the best that we can do. I feel like you shouldn't have an opinion if you're not doing the work. That's in this field and other fields. So we have to invest in our future because we must. We know that people are retiring. We know that people are transitioning. But what's constant is people are born, people are growing up, and everything starts with education. So we have to make sure that we are doing the work, but also having the patience and thinking things through. So overall, I think this journey with Liberty has been beautiful. It's been growth. It's been amazing, and I'm grateful for Liberty and its leadership, but also the people. Like, how cool is this podcast? This podcast is amazing. So no, other than that, I've enjoyed this conversation.
Awesome. Well, we have too. One question we ask all of our guests, so I'm going to ask you as well.
Okay.
What words of encouragement do you have for online students who are maybe tuning in and listening to this podcast?
Don't give up. What you're looking for is looking for you. When I was in law enforcement, I always thought about what would this be like? What would that be like? And I mean, 2018, 2019, it wasn't really that long ago, but everything that I do now, I dreamed about it when I was younger. So don't give up. God is there. He listens. He hears everything. Before you even hear it, before you even know it, he knows it. But also, you can't get anything accomplished off of a couch. You have to get up. You have to get out. You have to ask questions. You have to shake hands. Whatever way you have to do it, do it. Online classes, night classes, in person, whatever you have to do, that goal is there and is waiting for you to accomplish it. So when it's rough, when it's tough, it's only like that for a little bit. It's not like that. It's only like that for a season. It's not like that for years. It's not like that for months. So keep the fight. You know, you never know your story, how it can impact others, but also you're not the only one going through it. So when you graduate, when you get that application done, when you tell people you've done it, you're going to motivate somebody. You're going to encourage somebody else. So if it's anything that I could share is keep the fight. Somebody's looking for you to graduate and somebody believed in you. And if nobody else believes in you, just believe in yourself. You can do it.
Awesome. That's a great word. Yeah. Thank you so much again for being on the podcast, Montez. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you have any questions or comments maybe for Montez, again, you can send those to our online student life at liberty.edu email address, and we'll get those to him. We don't want to give out his work email because he'll get blown up with all kinds of emails. So send them to the online life inbox, and we'll get them to him. And again, if you have a story that you'd like to share on the podcast, again, send us an email there. We would love to just kind of continue the conversation and get to know our online students. So, Robin, this has been another episode of the OnLife Podcast.
Living in abundance wherever God puts you.